Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Salaam Britain. Now we're excited, so excited to be joined by Rajni, co-founder of and head of HR at Inara, and Nuzhath Ahmed at Project. The project delivery lead. I can't even read because I'm that excited. So, yes.
Right, yeah. So Inara Project aims to create a fairer and more positive society by encouraging women to get involved in the charity work and by making a difference to the lives of those in need. Let's hear more about this with our guest today. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum, lady.
Thank you for joining us.
Fresh from Dorset.
Yes, literally. Last night.
Yes, so tell us a bit more about your project.
So, Inara Project is a voluntary organisation, and it was founded by 6 young women who were all really close friends, young Muslim women, and we all went to universities in bigger cities, and we saw the Muslim communities there and the power that they hold and the change that they can create, and we decided we want to bring that back to our small local community in Dorset, which is predominantly white British, and we've never ever had opportunities like that for ourselves. So we wanted to create that and give that back, especially to the younger generation, younger Muslim women or women from any kind of ethnic minority. So we kind of work to provide opportunities for them to volunteer and give back to specifically vulnerable women. Yeah.
Wow. I was going to say, because my grandparents are from Dorset, so they live in a village there, and I definitely know, how small
It is,
what's the Muslim kind of community like over in Dorset?
It's definitely gotten bigger over the years. So it was originally very, very small. And we have a few mosques, and they're not very, very active in society, but they're big enough that we have Jummas and things like that. But in terms of kind of getting together to do good in society and get more involved, even in not even in our own issues, but local issues, we're not very active. Just because I think there's just lack of representation because there's so little of us. Yeah. So, but alhamdulillah, it's gotten so much better. There's been I think it's because it's a tourist city, it's near the sea. We get a lot of. We've gotten a lot more kind of attraction from.
Yeah. I mean, Dorset's supposed to be absolutely beautiful. But so going back to a little bit about the women in the project. So there's 6 of you.
Yeah.
Are you all from Dorset?
No.
So
So I'm not a co-founder. I actually joined Inara Project last year in September 2021 as a volunteer, and then I was promoted to lead in May 2022. So I've really enjoyed my time here, and I was actually really shocked to find out there wasn't much of a Muslim community in Dorset when they were telling me about the opportunities that they lacked there, and they wanted to create that for themselves, and how different it is compared to Birmingham, because we already have a Muslim community established there. We have a lot of charity projects going on. Yeah. But it was still amazing to see what Inara Project was doing, because it was a group of like-minded, ambitious women working together in order to provide women from all backgrounds with the same opportunities to be able to volunteer and lead and be able to just maximise their potential. And that was exactly what I was looking for. So even though I come from an area where there is an established Muslim community, I still found that we lacked some sort of female empowerment.
Absolutely.
So joining Inara, I managed to find that, and I'm really grateful.
You're in the right show, because Salaam Britain is about empowerment.
Yeah.
It's run by women, for women, run by women. So it's good to have, like you say, like-minded individuals.
Yeah, we love that. Yeah, we're totally on board.
Absolutely.
So you all you were students, and the original 6, or how did you come to bring this together? Because you were all students at university together?
We all went to different cities. So we all grew up in, the original 6 all grew up in Dorset. We went to Masjid together at 5 years old, and we've known each other for over 20 years. So we've got such a strong relationship, and we've been through thick and thin. And then we all went to different universities in Birmingham, Cardiff, London, and we experienced that great Muslim community, and we got involved in societies and charity work there, and we loved it, and we developed so much, we learnt so much, and we realised that we didn't have that when we came back. So one of the biggest reasons when we graduated, we came back and we just felt really empty, and we didn't feel like there was a sense of fulfilment in our lives anymore. And our main reason why we do in our project is for ourselves, to give ourselves that sense of purpose in our lives. Otherwise, we're just doing our work, and because we're all full-time, we all have full-time jobs, we do this on the side, and there's not a sense of fulfilment. So that's one of the main reasons why we created it, and we just came back and thought we'd do it together.
No,
and it's great that we've managed to grow.
Because you've all studied, you've grown up, and you're working in good jobs. and then you're doing something else. Okay, yeah, it's for to fulfill yourselves, for a greater purpose, but it's going to bring so much more benefit to other people.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
So
And tell us about specific projects that you have, and why it's special for you.
So all of our projects are catered towards women. So we're run by women for women, like you said. And we our first project was to do, we focus on domestic violence, and we saw a rise in domestic violence during the pandemic. And so we wanted to create care packages, like luxury care packages for women in domestic violence refuges. And we created, this is the first project, we were completely brand new, and we had a huge response from the community. And we managed to create 100 care packages that we had too many to give to the local refuges, so we even had to give out to ones in other towns, local towns. So they really, really appreciated that, and we had such great feedback. Like the women that came back and they said they finally felt like human again, and they were able to have small items that they literally fled their homes with nothing. So alhamdulillah, we did that. We do
our kitchen project
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So that's a space where we bring vulnerable women together in order to connect with other like-minded women, and they all have a passion for cooking. So we thought we'd give them that space to be able to cook and bond with each other, but at the same time learn skills as well at the same time. So we did it in order to empower women, and we did say that we want to be able to give them that opportunity to lead. And one of our service users actually stepped up and said she has a recipe in mind, she wants to go shopping, so she actually went shopping with Rajni and she cooked us up something she taught us instead. And that was when we realised the real fruition of our project. Like, we genuinely achieved that because that was our aim to start with.
them to
so
feel
that was really
empowered.
good.
Yeah. And having so much trauma, and to have a safe space to do it, and to do something that will make them feel like they're flourishing is an amazing thing.
yeah, because you're not just bringing them together, and because you can bring them together and have something to eat, but you're giving them an activity to do to build that team spirit. And I can only imagine when women have gone through all this trauma or going through a hard time. It's fine, you bring them under a roof and they kind of feel safe in that time, but to do it like in an activity, you do actually bring out more of them. And that sometimes kind of gets buried inside because everything else takes over. So it's a really great initiative. I mean, does that come from the women that to do the activity, or was that something that you guys as Inara Project thought of, that doing an activity before?
Yeah, so that was something that we thought of. We thought this is something that refugee women and vulnerable women all have in common. They can all cook. So we just thought we would provide that safe space to them. And I think we achieved in what we wanted to do for these women. So we're really grateful. And also, because these sessions are held in Dorset, so my role is mainly virtual because I'm from the outskirts of Birmingham, but I actually made the effort in July to go down and see the running of the kitchen. And honestly, I have so much respect for the girls that run it. A lot of effort and work goes into it. And it's amazing when you see the service users smiling at the end of it, and the feedback that they've given, where they say things like they feel safe with us, and they also feel really energized being around all of us, and they feel inspired, which is amazing.
Community spirit, especially when people are feeling down and stuff. You really need that sometimes, that the community's like spirit too, that you've got sisterhood or friendship, and it's a really great initiative.
It's actually like therapy. When you're speaking and you're interacting, you're
anything that gets you to interact or speak is therapy. So even though you guys, I don't know if you are trained in any of those counselling or psychology, but anything where it involves people opening up to you is therapy for them. And then they're doing something, an activity which is also good for the body, good for the mind, and so you're really doing some psychology, psychologist and therapy, therapeutic work. Okay, I'm sorry if I offend any of the psychotherapists out there, but what I mean is that you're doing very therapeutic work for the greater good, for the community, and having that team spirit is wonderful.
Absolutely. I'm interested in terms of funding. So do you fundraise to be able to sustain this? How does it work?
We fundraise. Because we're such a grassroots organisation, we've just been relying on community donations and online donations. So and we make use of Ramadan. We're Muslims. We have Ramadan at our fingertips whenever we want funding. So alhamdulillah, last year we raised £4,000 for the kitchen,
Mashallah, that's
and this year
great.
we're able to raise another £3,000 for ongoing projects. So inshallah, we're going to be continuing great work next year. And it's great because we then got Nuzhath involved this year in the fundraising, and she was great at it.
I think our team won. We raised a total of £731 in project delivery, and as part of our challenge, we wanted to do the colour run. So we found a spot between Dorset and Birmingham to meet up for a weekend and do it together.
Which spot is that?
I think it was Sunbury.
Sunbury and Surrey,
Oh.
We did a challenge.
Yeah,
and kind of
it
got
was
us together.
really nice. Because it just became sort of social for us. And this was my first time actually properly meeting these girls outside of video calls, which was great. But it felt like old time friends within the first 5 minutes. It was definitely worth it.
Definitely meeting you just a few moments ago. I feel like one of the six.
One of the mystery six.
Although you're so young, I'll be your mum.
No, but that's the great thing about Inara Project is that we've created such holistic relationships with women of all ages, and alhamdulillah, we've been able to really connect with women like who can't really speak English very well, who've been they've come to the country and they might not be recent asylum seekers or refugees. They've been in the country for about 11, 12 years, and they're still really isolated, and they still have no like friends or local or family or any kind of network. And
But
we
you
managed to
picked the
give that.
perfect place, really, haven't you, in terms of location? You know, because there isn't that many Muslims in Dorset, so it's great that you've done that. And so what I wanted to know is as well that, you know, how are we, if somebody wants to know more about it or wants to donate, where do we find you?
Yeah, where can we find you?
Where can we find you to donate?
I know where I found you.
For those who are watching today.
Well, our website is inaraproject.co.uk and our Instagram is inaraproject_. So if anyone's interested, if anyone has any reservations about joining, then honestly, all I can say is since I've joined Inara Project, I've really felt respected. I feel like the girls receive my ideas well, and that's where I flourished the best, to be honest. I feel like I've been the best that I've ever been. And I think in an environment like that where you are respected, you know, it's the ideal situation to be in. So if you are looking for skills outside of your workplace that you otherwise wouldn't get there, then I would definitely think about joining us.
Absolutely. I mean, getting that acknowledgement and that respect from the team, of course, boosts your morale as well and wants you to do more. So that's brilliant. That's absolutely amazing on all of you lot for, you know, doing this together. And so what else is there in store for any new projects coming up?
Future projects. So we're having our final kitchen sessions this Saturday, actually. So if anyone wants to come down, you're more than welcome.
My
Dorset?
visit, visit my grandparents.
Yeah.
My parents went to Dorset last week to visit my grandparents, so it should have been this Saturday. That's it.
So we're having our final session, and then we're going to start a new project next year, which is called So Good. So it's a sewing project. So good.
Good idea.
We're going to be teaching the service users, and we're kind of opening up to any vulnerable women who lack skills or want a network or just want to kind of fill their time, really, and to come and learn some sewing skills where they'll be able to then use them to create like 3 products, so maybe like a coin purse, a hair scrunchie and a tote bag. We're going to be using recycled materials because we're all about sustainability in our project as well. And what we'll then do is they will then choose a charity that they want to donate to abroad, because we're local, we don't have links abroad, and then we'll sell those items and we'll donate that money to the charity that they've chosen so that they don't feel like the charity case. And I think that's a huge thread.
Oh my goodness!
So it's very
the fans coming in.
very
Huge
carefully.
thread through our projects is that we don't want our service users to feel like they're a charity case. We want them to give back. So part of the kitchen actually is where they cook for the homeless. So they're giving back. They go to the homeless shelter. They become volunteers themselves. And I think that's what we really want to instill in them, to give them the confidence that they're giving back.
And it really does give you the confidence, you know, because, you know, when you do give and when you're feeling down yourself and you're giving, you know, to other people, it does make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, I propose that whenever you're in London, you should come and do some.
Use our kitchen.
Yeah, use our kitchen. Come back to Salaam Britain.
That might be an idea for the future.
Send you home. That would be really nice. But yeah, and any tips for people out there who want to make a difference to their community?
I think for us is don't think about it too much. If you've got a passion to kind of do something good in society, and if you don't have the passion, if you don't have the facilities to create something, go and find something. There may not be the services that you require, but there are services out there that you can join, that you can learn skills from. And I think that's what Nuzhath did.
Yeah.
She joined us all the way from Birmingham. So I feel like it's easy to kind of stay at home and not do anything and just post social media posts about this cause and that cause, but actually get your hands dirty and do something and then see the final product yourself and get that positive feedback. It's something different and it's so motivating. So really just like, if you're passionate about something and you want to do good, that's all you need is an attention, honestly.
I think that's some
Fantastic.
wise words there and of inspiration.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, but we will see more of you a little bit later on. And well, now we're off for another break. Join us in a bit as we have much more to come on the show.